All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Inner Mastery Webcast, second episode. I'm looking forward to sharing all the information that I have for each of you today. So, with the Inner Mastery web series, webcast, I would say, we're doing this every single Monday, so it'll be at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. I will be taking questions after what I'm going to be sharing with all of you today. It's a simple teaching, a simple practice, kind of an advanced practice, but we're going to be looking into this, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning how to clear the subconscious cache. And so this is a very, very important, vital practice that I have stumbled upon. And like I said, we'll be getting into that very, very shortly. First thing we're going to do, and hello everybody who is on the live chat right now. Good to see you all. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a beginning meditation, just starting off with grounding ourselves. All right. So let's get ourselves nice and comfortable. If we're seated in a chair, great. Okay. We can place our hands upon the center of our chest. We're going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And once again, inhale. Exhale. And one more time, inhale. Exhale. And now I just want you to bring your focus and awareness down to the base of your spine. And I want you to feel black etheric roots coming out through the base of the spine and just starting to move all the way down to the bottom of the feet. As they reach the bottom of the feet, you're imagining that the bottom of the feet, the center point of them, are opening up, and you're feeling the black roots going deeply into the earth. And starting to bring them deeper and deeper into the earth. And as you bring those roots deeply into the earth, I want you to just feel within yourself right now. Start to begin by going into the head region and just working all the way down. How are you feeling? Is there any panic, any anxiety, any emotional disturbances, any distortions, any stagnant energy that you want to now collect through the roots and just bring all of that energy down into the earth? Okay, so just giving yourself a moment to do that scan. Just feeling any form of anxiety, any form of emotional disturbance, any form of stagnant energy. You're just putting that directly into the base of the spine, directly into the etheric roots, and feeling that energy traveling down deeply and going into the earth. And just feeling the earth's nature, the earth herself absorbing all that, transmuting it into love. And we'll take another deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, and now we're going to feel the loving brown energy of the earth starting to move up through the roots and moving into our feet, and feeling that brown energy moving up through the feet, moving up through the legs, and connecting directly to the base of the spine. And we're also just going to rotate the chakras as well now too. So we're going to start off with the root chakra, color of apple red. Okay, so just seeing that apple red color in your mind now, and just seeing your finger physically or astrally, either is fine, and you're just swirling it 7 times counterclockwise. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we move up into the navel chakra, colored orange, like an orange peel. Okay, seeing that color before us, swirling it 7 times counterclockwise with the finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the solar plexus, colored yellow, like a lemon. Okay, taking our finger again, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the heart, colored green, like grass. Okay, or lime, that too works. Okay, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, moving up now to the throat, color of sky blue, aquamarine. Okay, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the third eye chakra, ocean blue, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Finally, moving up into the crown chakra, colored violet, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And focusing on your abdomen now as you take a deep breath in, bringing that breath all the way up to the top of your crown. Exhale, feel the crown opening up, feeling the rainbow light cascading down your body, going all the way down to the bottom of your feet, connecting directly to the perineum. As it connects to the perineum, you're now starting to see your toroidal field expand. Okay? Toroidal field is expanding, touching the top of your head, bottom of your feet, and slowly starting to see the toroidal field rotating counterclockwise. Okay, and now you're going to feel spirit light, white spirit light, coming into the toroidal field now, and just imbuing itself directly into the grids of your toroidal field. And now you're feeling your toroidal field completely engulfed with this white spirit light, which means any time during this interaction today, if you feel that there is any stiffness or any other forms of pain or aches, soreness, whatever it may be, just call upon that white spirit light, place it upon your hands, and put it upon an area of the body where you feel the source of that discomfort is. And then just starting to work with the spirit energy as you rub it and just give it love. And as you do that, you're feeling all of that debris just washing away. You're clearing it away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you put some energy. Let's say, for example, you have a sore chest. Okay. You're putting all of that spirit love energy there. And you're just rubbing it in. Okay. As it starts to feel lighter and lighter and lighter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And you're just rubbing it away. Okay. So let's, again, take another deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, we can now come back into the present moment. And with those roots, you can now start to bring those roots back through your feet, bringing them back up through your legs, and reconnecting them back into the base of the spine. Okay? So again, guys, this is the Inner Mastery Webcast, so there is no healing requests through the Inner Mastery Webcast. That's going to happen on Fridays, okay? So Fridays is the New Earth Teachings webcast. That's where we do live healing, distant healing. But again, you can also book sessions with me as well, too, on my website, newearthteachings.com. Through the Inner Mastery Webcast, what I'm teaching you guys is learning more about your own inner self, helping you to work with inner development, practices and methods and techniques that will help you to move yourself deeper into the self and go into greater forms of clarity, clearing out any other particular forms of debris that no longer serves. So in a way, it's almost like a type of classroom. Okay, so this is what we do here in the Inner Mastery Webcast. And like I said, after I share the technique with you guys, well, I'll be happy to take some questions as well too. And we can basically be general about the questions. I'm not here to do readings with you guys, but if you guys do have questions, you're more than welcome to share after the technique today. Okay, so as I talked about in the video description of today's webcast, we're going to be looking into clearing the subconscious cache. Now, this is a bit of an advanced technique. So what I would recommend first is if you guys have not already done the BCR technique and the TC technique, this is what I'd recommend you guys do firstly. Okay, so you want to spend a little bit of time with that. I would say at least 30 days. Okay, so every single morning, when you wake up, you're doing the BCR technique, okay? So what are you doing? You're just doing breath work. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. Repeat, repeat, repeat until you come into a state of calmness, until you come into your center. Once you are in your center, you're feeling this lightness. You're feeling lighter than air. You're feeling floaty. You're feeling happy, okay? And now we take that happiness to the next level. We go into reinforcement. Okay, so through our mind, we start to think of happy thoughts. We start to bring forward happy feelings. Doesn't matter if they're this big or this big, however big it is, all right? Doesn't matter. As long as there is a happy thought, a positive feeling there, right? That is what we are going to fuel. So through the BCR technique, You just imagine like you have a little ball, right? Depending upon the size of your happiness, and you're just expanding it, which means you're taking your imagination and you're pulling this, right? So if it's the idea of being out on the beach, laying down in the sunshine, now you're going to use your imagination to make an incredible world. Now you're going to see a much more brighter sky. Now you're actually going to see stars in the sky in the daytime. Now you're going to see ships flying over. Now you're going to see your angels coming down in heaven. Now you're going to see all your loved ones around you who you love so much. So what you're doing is you're taking that happy thought and you're putting it on positive steroids. Okay, imaginative steroids, right? You're putting it into this great sense of expansion, and you're making it brighter and brighter and bigger and more wonderful. Okay, and you feel like you can just expand that 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, and even 10 times its size. Okay, and then you shrink it down into the size of a tennis ball, which means all of that love that was out here is still here, but it's just been compressed. Okay, and you're putting it into yourself, and now you have this love energy. You have this love energy that you are able to command. Okay, and you are able to command it in any way you wish. If you want to use that love energy to heal an injury within your body, you can do that. You want to use this love energy to send it to another person who needs love right now, you can do that as well too. You can do absolutely anything with your love energy. But when you have that little ball, it's like you're talking to an entity, okay? And you're talking to that love energy. Love energy, clear away any congestion in my lungs. Let it be done, okay? Love energy, clear away a pain I have in my knee. Let it be done, okay? Love energy, clear away any sadness within my body. Let it be done, okay? You can do that, okay? And you send it off to a person who may need that love as well too. You can do that as well too. It's just going to be hovering around them until they're able to accept love, and then it can come into them. All right? And then, of course, we have the TC technique, which represents trigger clearing, which means all we're doing, it's almost like we have a catcher's mitt with us. And every time we notice that something negative, something intense may happen to us, we are catching it. Okay, we're catching it, and now we're using trigger clearing. And we have all of that built up love energy within ourselves from the BCR technique, because this is a paired technique with the BCR and the TC technique, right? We catch that energy and we look at it, okay? Is it fear? Is it sadness? Is it anger? It's all we're really looking at, right? What is its connection? What's this cobweb that we have caught inside our catcher's mitt, all right? And we're looking into it. We're looking into its association together with us. Very, very simple. Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it sadness? I'm mad at my cousin, or I'm upset with my wife, or upset with my husband, or whatever it is, right? And we're just looking at that association with us. That gives us clarity. As we have clarity now, we're now able to just hold that trigger like it's a small black ball, okay? And we feel, okay, it's this intense. And now we hold up our other hand, and that's our love energy. And now our love energy is like golden energy that goes all the way up into the sky, right? We ask a simple question. Is my love energy stronger than this trigger? The answer is yes. Am I ready to clear this trigger now? The answer is yes. If no, meditate more on your love. Bring your love energy up into a higher level, okay? Once your love energy is stronger than the trigger, you have absolutely no problem dissolving that trigger. Okay, you're just going right into it, and you're just dissolving it and clearing away, because your happiness outshines your pain. Okay, your happiness outshines your stagnancy. It really is very simple. The reason why some of us feel that we can't do it is because we make our pain stronger than our love, right? And that's not the key for the trigger clearing. Trigger clearing, we want to make sure our love is stronger than the pain. And as we do that, we're just directing that love energy to that pain energy, to that black ball. And we're feeling like that black ball is melting away. It's melting, it's dissolving away. Now you feel a great sense of release. You've released that pain energy, okay? Now you're going into review. That's the next step. You go into review, and you just look at that and saying, okay, yeah, I no longer feel anger with my cousin. I no longer feel upset with my husband or my wife, etc. Okay? I feel clear. I feel good. Great. That's all you had to do. So now you repeat these 2 techniques for 30 days. All right? If you guys want to know more, there's on my YouTube channel, the BCR TC technique all in one. I have deemed that as the most important video on my channel. Okay? If you guys have not watched that, please go watch it. Okay? It is my most important video. So now we're going to be talking about the advanced technique. This is the next step, okay? 30 days after the BCR and the TC technique, okay? So this is known as clearing the subconscious cache. I haven't really created too much of a technique name for it just yet, but basically clearing the subconscious cache is what I do refer to it as. So what does this mean? Well, basically what we are doing is as we start to get more advanced and we start to work together in clearing out a lot of the debris and the cobwebs within our body, the subconscious will always have some type of residual traces. It may also have very large association-based traces relating to our negativity, relating to chaos, relating to emotional hardship, relating to mental strain, and so forth. So our subconscious, again, is a data bank, and it's containing all of these particular forms of energy pulses that we have put our focus into, right? So if we say, oh, I'm never going to be a great singer, I'm never going to be a great dancer, I'm never going to be a great artist, I can't amount to anything, etc. You have made that a belief system, right? Your emotions have said, no, you can't do this, and you turn it into a mental block. And that goes into your subconscious, and that becomes a web, right? So what we do is as we start to work with the BCR and the TC technique, we start to clear out a lot of those cobwebs within the subconscious. But there still is quite a bit of debris there because there's residual programming from all the times that we have bashed ourselves into the ground. So what we are doing instead is we're going into the subconscious and we're going into a state of reprogramming, okay? So I just have a couple things written down on a notepad here. So basically, like I said, after 30 days at least of doing the BCR and TC technique, you start going into your subconscious, okay? And you may notice that you may see these little thought bubbles that are still there and saying, oh, I still hate this person, or I still don't like this thing that I'm doing, etc., etc. And you know that's not how you truly feel, right? So these are, again, these kind of residual contaminating thoughts. So what you're doing is you're basically just pulling them out of your head and holding them like a little sphere, okay? So you hold those little balls of thought that says, oh, I hate what I'm doing, blah, 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 right? And you're just saying, by God's own love, I forgive you. Be gone. Okay? So all I did there is I went into my God self. I went into the highest level of myself just within that moment. Only takes an instant to get there. By God's love, I forgive you. Be gone. Okay? Simple as that. It's the God within you that you are bringing in the highest light and you're clearing away this thought. Okay? That is step one. There's a 3-step process to clearing your subconscious cache, okay? So why do we do it this way? Well, basically what we're doing is we're just basically pulling that thought right out of our head, which means it's kind of like the raw thought, right? So if we basically say, oh, I hate this person, all of a sudden that thought is right here in our hands, right? Because we are doing that action that connotates that we are actually pulling out that thought, and that this is exactly what this thought means. So it's contained inside this sphere, okay? So then we go within ourselves. We have to take a minute to take a deep breath in, deep breath out, a few deep breaths in, a few deep breaths out. Go ahead and do that, okay? But you're basically centering yourself, and you're going into your God self. As you go into your God self, you are saying to this thought form, by God's love, I forgive you, be gone, okay? That's it. So this is again why it's the next stage after the BCR and TC technique, because you've done a lot of cleanup. A lot of the root core cleanup has been done through the BCR and TC technique. And when you start going into clearing your subconscious cache, this again is just checking the corners. You're going into the corners, you're going into the basement, you're making sure everything else is just mopped up, taken care of in that way. But what we're also doing is we're reprogramming the computer that represents our subconscious in a manner of speaking, okay? So what this means is that as we start to clear out that thought, we want to make sure that that thought never comes back again. Well, how do we do that? Well, this is where the subconscious cleaning comes in, okay? So after you have cleared that thought, again, the example of, oh, I hate this person, etc., right? Clear that away, okay? By God's love, I forgive you, be gone, okay? So we are saying forgiveness because we are forgiving that thought, but we're also saying be gone, which means you don't have to come back. You're never going to come back again. You no longer represent who I am. And you've said that with great assurity, okay? Step 1. Step number 2 is we go in and we tell the subconscious to erase every trace of that thought and accept no record of it whatsoever. Okay? So what we're basically doing is we're blanking out our Akashic record. Okay? Guys, it is possible to do this. You can blank out areas of your Akashic records. Okay? It's contained in your subconscious. You can basically wipe the file clean. Clear it away. It no longer has any association together with you. It's out of your matrix. Okay? That's exactly what we're doing in the subconscious. Now, in order for that to fully succeed, we're going to go into step 3 here shortly, where we reinforce that property as well too. Okay? So it's just an example. Again, number 1, cleared out that thought of feeling that we hate somebody. Number 2, I say to my subconscious, quote, to my subconscious, erase every trace of this thought and accept no record, only the truth as I set forth. Okay? I will say this again. If you guys need to write it down, I'll say it slower. To my subconscious, erase every trace of this thought and accept no record, only the truth as I set forth. Okay? End quote. So what we are doing here is we're being very, very specific with the dialogue. Okay? This actually goes back into Siddha teachings. Okay? The Siddha teach similar things like this, all right, with clearing your subconscious. Okay? You can actually find this in a version of Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. Okay? They teach in those volumes this particular method, and it is exceptional. I've tried it. It works. Okay? So again, I'll say it one more time at normal speed, because I know you guys really want to try and write this down, I think. So, to my subconscious, erase every trace of this thought and accept no record. Now, accept is spelled A-C-C-E-P-T. Accept no record, okay? So, erase every trace of this thought and accept no record, only the truth as I set forth, period, okay? So that is the trait. Okay, great. I'm seeing people writing it down in the chat there. Erase every trace of this thought and accept no record, only the truth that I set forth, okay? And you want to say, to my subconscious, okay? It's like you're writing a note, okay? To my subconscious, or dear subconscious, erase every trace of this thought and accept no record of it, only the truth as I set forth, okay? Or accept no record, only the truth as I set forth, okay? So now we're going to look at the truth that we're going to set forth, okay? We'll get to questions here in a little bit. Guys, save your questions for now, okay? We're going to get to questions here afterwards. Once let me just go through the entire technique with you. Afterwards, we'll go into Q&A. If you guys have questions about this technique, we'll get into that, okay? So that is step number 2. So step number 3 is reinforcement, okay? Just like we do in BCR technique, where we reinforce our energies, we reinforce our positive energy. What we're doing here is we're doing reinforcement of great love, honoring, and worship of what we hold dear, representing our truth, okay? So what we are doing is we're bringing love, honor, and worship to the truth that we hold dear. And that is going to be the replacement. That's going to go into the subconscious, okay? So the subconscious is now going to get this incredible belt of power, of energy, through these things that we value relating to our truth, okay? Well, what are those things? Youth, beauty, love, purity, truth, perfection, abundance, okay? 7 things. It can even be some more stuff. If you want to add some more stuff, you want to add compassion in there as well too, you can. This is just an example list, okay? So what we want to do is we want to look at those key truths, and that's what they're referred to, okay? Let's look at the idea of beauty first, okay? Let's look at beauty. Let's look at that word right now, beauty. And what we want to do is we want to reinforce very greatly, very strongly, the energies behind beauty, because that's what's going to come into the state of truth, okay? Your subconscious really is a computer, okay? It's a program. It's a programmable matrix. you are able to completely reprogram it through these powerful codes of command. Okay, that's exactly how I created the healing code cards. Okay, you are using codes of command or command codes. Okay, and it's no more different than a programmer on a computer who's typing in codes to create an app. Okay, it's the exact same thing about how your subconscious works. But what your subconscious works primarily with is your own energy, is your energy of feelings. Okay, so when a thought is there, it's the feelings behind the thought that make it valid. It's the feelings behind the thought that make it relevant. It's the feelings behind what you put as your key truths that give it its own state of importance. Okay? So we've cleared out that thought of saying, I hate somebody, right? We told the subconscious to completely clear it away, erase every trace of it, accept no record, only the truth as I set forth. So we have to determine, what is our truth? What's the truth that we set forth? This is step 3, okay? So you want to create a list of your key truths, okay? So again, just getting a little notepad out and just start writing things down and saying, this is my list of key truths. Love, purity, youth, beauty, abundance, perfection, even truth itself, right? So, like I said, we're using that example of beauty. So what I want you guys to do right now is I want you to close your eyes and I want you to look at what beauty means to you, okay? And it can be absolutely anything. This is your reality, okay? You are looking into what beauty represents. What is beauty? Is it a shining diamond? Are you seeing yourself just in this pure, clean state? Is that your beauty? Whatever it is, there's nothing wrong with anything that you put in. This is your reality, your creator, okay? So I want you to look into what beauty means to you, okay? And I want you just to empower that. I want you to feel like you're just shining the brightest light possible, okay? And I want you to smile with it. I want you to laugh with it. I want you to feel like this is something very dear to you, okay? And you're putting that feeling of the key truth of beauty into your subconscious, okay? So as you're shining that light, that beautiful light into beauty, you're telling your subconscious within yourself, this is a key truth, okay? So firstly, we feel beauty in the greatest way that we can. We want to emotionally connect to it. We want to emotionally tie to it, right? Just like when we use something negative that says, oh, I don't want to do that, right? What brought us to that conclusion? Our emotions, okay? Our emotions brought us to that conclusion of saying, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to be that kind of person, okay? Our emotions brought that in, backed up by our experiences, our beliefs, etc., okay? So the exact same thing is happening here, and all you're doing is positive reinforcement. So you're looking at beauty, okay? Make it something personal for you. Make it something that is wonderful, right? Put all of your love behind it. Put all of your support behind it. Put all of this beautiful godlike light behind beauty. And you are telling your subconscious, this is a key truth, okay? And you want to spend time with just that single term, right? Daily, right? You want to look into, again, if I have beauty written down, if I have purity written down, if I have love written down, I'm spending some time with that, and I'm putting a lot of emotional charge into those key truths. So now that I'm going in and I'm doing housework, clearing up the residual gunk in my subconscious and clearing the cache, I'm refilling the cache with important, new, positive key truths, which means you will be incapable of thinking anything negative again. You're clearing the cache. You're commanding your subconscious to do that because you're in your center, okay? This is, like I said, this is an advanced technique, guys. Do not do this first, okay? You do the BCR and you do the TC techniques first, okay? 30 days at least. After 30 days, you move into clearing the cache, okay? So again, that's just an example. Beauty is an example. Now I'd say, okay, pull up love. What does love mean to you? And you're creating these images. You're putting your feelings behind all of it, okay? Guys, this is positive spell work. This is what you're doing. You're casting spells, but you're casting positive spells for your subconscious, okay? You're telling your subconscious, as soon as something like that comes out, by God's love within me, you are forgiven, be gone, okay? That thought is no longer there. You go into your subconscious mind, erase every trace of this, and accept no record. Only the truth as I set forth. Step number 3, we have to define our truths, okay? Our key truths: beauty, love, purity, compassion, strength, perfection, whatever it is, okay? You can create a big list of them, okay? But you want to feel every single one. You want to give it love. You want to give it feeling. You want to give it a heart, okay? That's going into your subconscious, which means we're restructuring the subconscious program within ourselves. Because now as we do this over time, let's say 2 months pass, and we've been doing this every single day, have I been thinking of anything negative? Not one bit. A person comes up to me and is negative, I'm just smiling. I'm feeling great because I've completely reprogrammed my subconscious, and there's nothing in there that would want me to retaliate against what another person is saying, even if they're hostile. All I know is what I have been able to apply into my subconscious as a key truth. I have a great amount of strength of love and compassion within me, which means all I want to do is give people support, give them love. I don't care if they're running amok. I don't care if they're feeling like they want to argue with somebody. I just want to give them a hug. I just want to give them love. I want to give them support, because that's what you've reinforced through your subconscious, right? Do not be discouraged if you feel like something within the depths of your subconscious, that there's still a little negative thought that comes out. That's okay. Pull it out. By God's love, I forgive you, be gone. To my subconscious, erase every trace of this and accept no record. Only the truth as I set forth. Reinforce my key truths. Okay? And you can basically look at it as a key truth that may be an association to that thought. Okay? Because maybe it was something relating to the idea of a lack of self-worth. And now we're going to see worthiness right here, right? And we're going to really reinforce that as a key truth. And that comes into the subconscious. Now you're no longer feeling worthless. Now you're no longer feeling like a lack of worth, okay? So like I said, this is an advanced technique. This is not something that you're just going to do on the fly, right? We want to make sure we get the core clearing of our healing done first, and that is through the BCR and TC techniques, okay? 30 days. So all I'm asking you guys to do is really get behind this and do it for 30 days. Can you guys do that? Right? That's up to you to answer. Right? So again, if you can do 30 days of BCR and TC technique, commit to it, saying, yep, Brad, I'll do this. It's very, very simple, and I will take care of it. I will do this. Great. After 30 days, go into clearing the subconscious cache. Okay? So those are the 3 steps, right? Now, it takes a little bit of time to really start to work with our subconscious. Don't think that you're going to get it done in one day, in a single day, okay? It's going to stretch. It may take you months to do this, okay? I've started this journey as well, too, with my subconscious, and I know it's going to take me some time as well, too. But the good news is as soon as I go into meditation now, my mind feels completely and totally blank, right? There's little tiny things that may be buzzing around up there, but nothing that is really obtrusive, right? When you're going into your meditation, when you're going into your inner self, and you're working with yourself, and you're seeing the God within you, okay? So again, this is a very, very valuable technique, a very powerful technique, and I have never taught any technique like this before, okay? It's brand spanking new. JR says every morning. I would recommend every morning, as soon as you get up from bed, yeah. Now, Brad, why do you say it's good to do the BCR technique every morning? Because that's what you're doing before you start your day, okay? Guys, imagine this, okay? Just imagine. You wake up, you do the BCR technique, and you put all this love energy into yourself. How do you think your day is going to go? It's going to be amazing. You're feeling love everywhere. You look at your walls, you're feeling love. You look at your plants, you're feeling love. You look at your computer, you're feeling love. You look outside, it's a beautiful sunny day, you're feeling love. You're seeing kids playing out in the street, you're feeling love. You're seeing the trees around your neighborhood, you're feeling love. You look at the grass on the ground, you're feeling love, right? So let's imagine not doing the BCR technique. Son of a bitch, I need to go get some coffee. And we start groaning. We start just griping about everything. Okay? That's happening because we have no particular form of charge. We have no charge within ourselves. And here's something for you guys to understand as well too. If you put absolutely no charge into any words, no manifestations will come, which means you're basically staying as a witness. Okay, this is what we call as witnessing. And of course, that's not a bad thing. It's actually quite a wonderful thing. But basically, when you're just completely neutral and completely centered with your words, there's no charge behind it. Okay, you have to look at everything pertaining to voltage, right? It's an electric body. It's an electrical body of consciousness. We have charge in things, okay? If I'm saying, good morning, guys, you guys can feel that. Holy shit. He is happy this morning. I can feel it, right? If I'm like, hey, good morning, guys. God, I wish I could just bury myself in a grave right now, right? Negativity, right? He's leaking all of this tarry substance all around him all the time, okay? But if I'm just saying, good morning, everybody, completely calm, completely neutral, there's no real charge behind that at all. Oh, yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning, right? Do you guys see now? It's an electrical body of consciousness. So what we are doing is we're putting electrical voltage into our key truths, like through the clearing of the subconscious cache, okay? We basically take that wire and we stick it directly into the meaning of, again, beauty, for example, and we're charging it, right? We're putting so much deep feeling into it, and we're really bringing that amplification of what beauty means to us in a very beautiful way, right? And we are telling the subconscious this is a key truth. It's not the key truth, but it is a key truth, okay? And the more that you're doing that with all of these other key truths, you now have an infrastructure, okay? An engineer will infrastructure, again, a grid relating to electrical power, electrical systems, okay? It's exactly what we're doing here, guys, as well, is we're creating an electrical thought grid through our subconscious, which means it's no longer in cobwebs. It's not like wires are hanging down and they're bursting all of this electricity out, and you're just afraid to even touch the thing, right? People have way too much of a haywire subconscious because we have never, ever been taught. In fact, I don't even know of many teachers online that actually teach about restructuring the subconscious. If it is, it's very, very few. Okay, but this is a very, very simple way of doing it. The ancient masters, absolutely, they will teach you all of this about working with the subconscious, about clearing yourself out, about using positive reinforcement, about going into the God within, about aligning to God, and everything is God, right? Everything is God. Everything is about God. There is nothing in life that is not God, right? That is what they teach you. And people that continue to do these teachings from these ancient masters can do incredible things. They can teleport. They can bilocate. They can manifest things out of thin air. They can help people and say, hey, here's loaves of bread for all of you guys. There you go. Every single one of you has loaves of bread, and there's still some plenty here as well too. They do all of these incredible, miraculous things for the greatest good of all. Okay? That is their intention. And I reflect those particular types of teachings myself. Okay? When I'm using the healing code cards, right? There's pure spirit light directly into that. And I channel all of those command codes directly into the healing code cards so that everybody has the cards can work together with spirit energy, because those are codes of command, just like what we're doing here. Okay? All right, so that is the technique, everybody. That is clearing the subconscious cache. Now, again, if there's still some things that seem hazy, well, again, this is being recorded, so feel free to go back into the recording and look into it a little bit deeper. But like I said, please do not do this technique until you have done at least 30 days of the BCR and TC technique. Okay, this is an advanced technique. It's simple, but it's an advanced technique. The reason why we don't want to do this before doing the BCR and TC technique is because we still have a lot of cobwebs inside ourselves that we haven't even touched. And doing this technique too prematurely would probably just confuse you, right? Because there's a lot of things hidden behind the scenes that you haven't been able to clear out with using something like the BCR and TC technique, okay? So the BCR and TC technique are the core healing faculties that you are using just for 30 days. 30 days at least. If you want to go longer, please go longer. I recommend going longer, right? But just being able to do that, putting lots of love energy into yourself, clearing your triggers, and continuing to repeat this every single day, right? And now you're noticing that the majority of your body is now starting to get cleared. You're starting to feel a lot more healthy. Yes, continue to eat well, continue to exercise well, continue to meditate, do all those things. That's important too. But you're also clearing out all this debris within yourself. All these cobwebs are being cleared. You're becoming a housekeeper, okay? You got your little broom, you got your little duster, right? And you're going through your house and you're dusting and cleaning and sweeping everything up, right? You're cleaning up all this mess within ourselves. Then after we do that, we go into phase 2. And then phase 2 is clearing the subconscious, okay? Or clearing the subconscious cache, okay? So this is, again, why it's so important. We're taking that thought out. We see it for what it is. Oh, I hate this person. By God's love, I forgive you. Be gone. Okay? Why do I say by God's love? Because it's the most powerful love there is. Okay? When you are saying God love, you have God first and then love. That's the most powerful thing there is. Okay? By Creator's love, same thing. Okay? Whatever you feel you want to use. But basically you want to input that which you feel is the most powerful. For you, if you feel source love is the most powerful, then go ahead. All right? Through source love, I forgive you. Be gone. Through Creator's love, I forgive you. Be gone. By God's love, I forgive you. Be gone. I use by God's love because I'm completely in harmony with the Word of God. Okay? And then of course we move on to clearing out the subconscious, as I've discussed, and then we go into defining the key truths and empowering them, okay? And that's it. We just keep doing that on a daily basis, and we just go on and on and on and on. We keep using the BCR and TC technique in tandem with this as well too, all right? So, very good, guys. We'll go ahead to questions now. Do you guys have any questions in regards to what I've shared or anything else that's on your mind right now? Can we use goddess? Of course you can. Guys, you guys are gods. You guys are goddesses. You guys can use whatever you want, right? If you want to say by holy Bob, you are forgiven, then that's fine. If you think Bob is the most beautiful word in your language, and if you put that highest up, well then okay, that's fine, right? Just on a universal level, we're looking at, God. We're looking at Creator. We're looking at Prime Creator. We're looking at Source. We're looking at Goddess. Absolutely. You guys are gods of your own reality. You're creators of your own reality. You're in charge, right? So whatever word you want to use, whether it's Bob, whether it's Jim, whether it's Jenny, whether it's Goddess, whether it's Creator, whether it's Source, it's fine. But just be very serious about the idea of having that as your paramount word, okay? Your paramount word relates to the idea that it is of the highest light. It is of the highest energy. It is the most powerful. And God is quite common with that, okay? Source, Creator, God, Goddess, yes. All right. By God's love, I love you all. Very good. That's the spirit. Well, you see, the whole idea, guys, is that word God has no wrong associations. That's nothing but the product of your belief, okay? There is no such thing as a bad word, okay? It's the words that you put in saying, oh, no, I don't want to hear the word Jesus because that just reminds me of religion. I don't want to hear the word God because that reminds me of religion, okay? Now, if it was such a horrible word universally, it wouldn't be used, okay? It's your own beliefs and definitions that are putting that word into its contaminated state. Rather than saying, I'm going to throw that word away, let's repair it. Let's clear the cobwebs out of it. We're clearing the cobwebs out of ourselves with BCR and TC technique and clearing the subconscious cache. Let's clear that word, okay? Here's the thing, guys. I used to have a problem with the word God, okay? Was I thinking that it was some type of wrong word? Yeah, I did. Until I looked into it deeper and I said, it's me that's putting these cobwebs around the word God, right? Oh, but other people are misusing it. You're not responsible for other people, okay? You are not responsible for what other people think, for what other people do, for their opinions, or for their expressions. Only yourself, okay? Do not use other people as an excuse. This is your perception of the word God. This is your perception of the word Creator. This is your perception of the word Goddess, okay? Your perception. Not saying, oh, the Pope uses this and this. Who cares? Who gives a crap? Okay? Your perception of God can be divine, okay? Do not feel like this is some type of evil, wrong word because what you're doing is you're submitting to your beliefs. Your beliefs are saying it's contaminated. Your beliefs are saying it's chaotic. It's evil. Okay? You're the one defining that, not anybody else. You're the only one here. Okay? As you're the only one here, your perceptions count. Your perceptions matter. Right? So like I said, I used to have a problem with it myself. And then I cleared all that up and saying, I'm the one that has made this word horrible. I'm the one that has basically thought this word to be horrible. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to love the word God. And so I'm going to love it. And so that's what I did. I cleaned up all the cobwebs around it because I was raised as Jehovah's Witness. I was raised in religion background, right? And I really did not like of what they were doing with the idea of the word God. But that was my own perceptions, right? The problem was not within anything external. It was within me. I had to clear out the cobwebs with that, right? So this is, again, just a reminder. There are no bad words, guys, other than the words that you put that negativity behind, your chaos behind it. Clear up the cobwebs. We're doing housework here. It's the whole point, right? Okay, let's move on. We're basically just sticking with stuff pertaining to inner work, guys, okay? Stuff about the Mayan calendar and the law of time. That's more for the New Earth Teachings webcast or for a private session, okay? We're looking into inner teachings here. So just basically things that are more general that's going to help yourself out. So what I would suggest to that question, Amelia, is looking into meditating on that, okay? What does the Mayan calendar represent to you? Why is it important? Why have you deemed it important, okay? That's just a question I have for you. Because we ask these questions and saying, what about the law of time? What about Tzolk'in? What about the Mayan calendar? Well, why is it important to you, right? What does it mean to you? Because if you have such great meaning behind all that, you can find answers very, very quickly, right? This is why I say, do the BCR and TC technique for 30 days. Meditate while you have all that love energy into you. You're going to find your answers. You see, it's not about running over to a person and saying, Brad, can you answer this for me? Because I may give you a perspective, but it may not be, again, the perspective that you prefer. Which means no one is going to give you the bright, brilliant perspective that you are capable of than you. You're the one that's going to do that, okay? So like I said, we can answer that in another time. I can give you a perspective on it. But again, right now, it's just about general questions about the inner self, because this is all about inner mastery, okay? So we're looking into general questions that are more so self-empowering, right? Inner mastery work, inner self work, inner development, okay? All right. This is from Shea. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Thanks, Brad. I am trans, and I've been struggling with finding an inner balance because I still have so many egoic structures based in what I thought a man should be when I was younger. Any advice? Do the BCR and TC technique for 30 days. Okay, you want to make peace with that. You want to go past the debris, okay? Let's imagine, guys, right now that there is an asteroid field, okay? Here's an asteroid field, and beyond the asteroid field, here's our core, okay? And we're this little ship, we're this point of focus. Now, as long as we stay within the asteroid field, we are going to succumb to beliefs, we're going to succumb to Maya, we're going to succumb to illusions, we're going to succumb to veils, okay? And we start playing with that on the surface. You see, here's the problem with the intellect and identity. It tries to find itself within the asteroid field. It's never going to work, okay? If you are looking for your story within the asteroid field, you are only ever just going to keep surfing your surface with all this debris consciousness, okay? Intellectual answers is not going to bring you a true harmony within yourself. So you want to go beyond the asteroid field and you want to go into the core of that planet, right? And as you start to understand this, you say you do not need story. All you need is love. That's it. The story is not going to bring clarity to you because then something else will come up. Something else will unravel. Something else will happen. And then you're just fighting with stories every single day and saying, oh, my mother did this, and then this happened, and this took place, and then this happened, and then I got ridiculed because of this. And why do people do that? And why is this happening? And we start unraveling, right? And we get lost in a gigantic maze where we do not know how to get out of it, okay? That's what happens when you follow story. That's what happens when you're lost inside the asteroid belt, okay? Don't get lost in the asteroid belt, okay? So when you look at the aspect of, I have so many egoic structures, so what? We can take them down. Do you think that they are stronger than God? They're not, okay? Do you think they're stronger than love? They're not. You are only looking at those egoic structures because you have done absolutely nothing to rearrange them, to shift them, to take those pillars down and to build something up that's new. And in order for us to do that, we have to get behind our love. We have to get behind our compassion. We have to get behind our support, our forgiveness. All right? And this is the work of spirit. This is our spirit work. This is our inner mending that we're doing. We're doing inner mending, guys. We're going inside ourselves and we realize that the problems are not just relating to the aspect of the physical. There's something a lot more deeper here. And that relates to your emotional and mental bodies. Okay? Your emotions are the very things that are contaminated, and you're basically taking these unnatural things and you're holding them up and saying, oh, this is what I represent. Identity, intellect, memory, and that converges into ego. So as long as I continue to feel that ego and get mad at it and get upset with that or get depressed because I have all these egoic structures, well, then the ego triumphs. The ego becomes your master and you become its servant, right? So maybe it's time for a change of venue. Maybe it's time to dedicate yourself to working with love energy. How do you do that? Well, firstly, your willpower, your commitment to do so is the first important step. Are you willing to change? And if you say, yes, I am, good. Now you're ready to do something like the BCR and TC technique, okay? Because you're willing to change. You're not willing to change, no one can help you, right? You say, oh, I'm stubborn, I'm not going to do anything, I'm not going to move. Okay, fine. No one's really going to be able to help you if you become this granite statue, right? But if you're able to become a little more flexible and you're able to open up and you're able to let your love energy in, well, now you can do something like a simple technique because here you are with your substance of commitment. Here's love energy starting to happen, starting to grow, and you're becoming this garden. You're becoming this garden of fruitfulness. You have these beautiful plants and beautiful flowers. You become fragrant, right? And you're being a groundskeeper, and you're pulling out all the roots, right? The roots of the weeds. You're going in, okay, guys? We have to go in, okay? We can either sit there and say, oh my God, my ego is spiraling out of control, woe is me. Well, then you keep doing that, and it's not going to get you anywhere, right? And you just keep going this cycle and over again. And you can go on there to eternity if you want, right? It's going to be very, very tough because it's going to compress on you, and it's going to get tighter and tighter and denser and more compact until you say, enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not putting up with my egoic structures anymore. I'm not putting up with the idea of anything pertaining to suffering, to pain, to anguish, to all of that. I've experienced enough of it. I'm going to start reinforcing myself. I'm going to change. Great. We've cracked the shell, right? I applaud you when you're at that level. You've changed, okay? No matter how stubborn someone is, they're going to eventually crack. This is what I've called the breach, okay? Sooner or later, you're going to breach, okay? Every single one of you is going to breach. Every human being on this planet, all 8 billion of us, even the most stubborn, at some point, is going to breach, okay? That shell is going to crack. So you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to change. Great. Now we can start moving into positive reinforcement. Now we can take the ego systems down. And all the ego systems are these cobwebs. They are cobwebs inside the mind. And many of them are thick, many of them are nasty looking, because they all focus on unnatural energies. They're very disorganized. They're everywhere. It's like looking at a ball of yarn, right? Everything's tangled into everything else. But again, we're a diligent housekeeper. And we're going in there with our broom and our mop and our vacuum and our little duster. And we're cleaning off all of the debris. We're clearing off all of the cobwebs. This is what we got to do, guys. Okay, I've been doing it constantly since the day of my awakening, right, for the past 12 years. And I'm still clearing out a little bit of cobwebs here and there, okay? Do not think that this is a one-night thing. That, okay, bonk, bonk, bonk. Hey, I honked my nose 3 times. I hit my heels together 3 times. Done. No such thing. You are a vastness. You are a universe within yourself. Okay? You can start clearing out a lot of the core debris within yourself, and it doesn't take too much time if you're diligent with it. But there's always going to be things that you're going to be learning. There's always going to be challenges that you're going to be focusing on. There's going to be new things that you're understanding now about expanding yourself in greater ways that you can't even imagine yet. And the whole key here is to be one with God. That's the whole key, is to bring the God from you out, right? Within, without, right? And connect with that God's self. That's the key, right? And love is the way. Compassion is the way, because that's our natural state. Everything pertaining to ego, pertaining to conflict, pertaining to suffering, pertaining to chaos is unnatural. All right? It is a man-made invention. We created suffering. God did not. Okay? We created our pain. God did not. Right? The universe is a potentiator. We start putting our energies towards things that don't serve, and we make that a masterful thing, well, then it's going to be entangled into our lives. The universe is a sandbox. Okay, that's what God's created. God wants you to create beautiful, loving things, but you have creator power. Okay? And you're able to go into that sandbox, and you're able to create nasty things out of the sand. Right? Sure, it may confuse a lot of people in saying, well, there's such a loving universe. Why are you creating something like that? Oh, because I don't deserve this and I don't deserve that. And you're creating all these horrific pictures in the sand, right? In your sandbox. You did that. Okay? It's your sandbox. So you have to work on that and saying that it's compressed me enough. It's put me into this tight grip long enough. And now I'm going to change. I'm going to crack that shell out of feeling like I'm just burying myself with negativity and chaos and disharmony and suffering. I'm going to change. I'm going to shift. Right? Look at it in that context. Make beautiful things out of the sandbox. Okay, let's move up a little bit more here. How to increase self-love and self-respect. BCR technique. Like I said, if you're willing to change. You are not going to be able to increase your self-love and self-respect if you're not willing to change. Okay? You got to be willing to change. You got to say, ego, enough is enough. I'm in charge now. I'm taking things in command here. I'm the leader, right? And I'm going to start shifting myself. I'm going to start moving into positive reinforcement. I'm going to take care of this. So what do? You surrender to yourself, and you go into these deeper states of love. What have the yogis been teaching for thousands of years, guys, to go into greater states of love? What have they said? Does anybody know? Surrender and silence. That's it. You surrender and you go into your silence, right? And you understand the depths of yourself as you go into that sweet surrender and that sweet silence. Okay, that's it. That's all it takes, guys. But you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to do this. Stop intellectualizing this to death. It is going to get you nowhere. Okay? Oh, but Brad, can you logically explain? No. Right? You got to crack that shell. You got to do the work. You're afraid to jump in the swimming pool. Okay? Don't be afraid to jump in the swimming pool. It's a beautiful swimming pool. Yeah, but can you logically explain what happens when someone jumps in there? And if I could, I'd just push you in. But I can't. Right? You have to jump in the swimming pool. You have to do this work to understand it, to experience it fully. And then you get it. Okay? If you're not doing this work and you're just wanting clarity, guess what? You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. Someone explaining it to you is dull and boring. Experience it for yourself. Hey, went up this really big looping roller coaster. What was it like? It was a lot of fun. Explain it logically to me. What the hell are you talking about, man? Go on the ride and check it out yourself, right? And that's what I say to you guys. What the hell, guys? Go into love and experience it yourself. What are you afraid of? You're afraid to die. That's what. You're afraid to crack your shell. You're afraid to change because you don't want this, right? You don't want to be in charge of your reality. You don't want to move into loving states. Oh, Brad, I do. Well, then change. And you can get there. Do these experiences. Walk these paths. Okay? And again, this is the whole idea of our society. It gets so intellectual. It gets so demanding relating to explanation and practicality. It overdoses on it like a drug addict. Okay? That's not going to get you guys anywhere. Okay? You're just going to be wandering loops back and forth, walking through these mazes. Let's not get into that vibration. Okay? Let's crack the shell. Let's be willing to change. And now you're willing to change. Do something as simple as the BCR and TC technique. Guys, this is infinitely simple, right? It is so simple to do the BCR technique. It is so simple to do the TC technique. It is so simple to clean your subconscious. It takes no effort really at all. All you're doing is you're just powering things up. You're an electrical body of consciousness, which means every single feeling that you have, you are charging something up. You're putting voltage into it, right? Think of it in that way and use the experiences to your advantage. Experience this, experience this, experience this, experience this. Okay, got to make that like a subliminal CD or something. All right. So with the Zeta, Brad, in step number 4, I only see myself as a bright light flowing up and glowing. We only have 3 steps. We don't have a step 4. Step number 1 is, again, pulling that thought out of your mind, clearing it away, be gone. Step number 2, subconscious, erase every trace of this thought and accept no record, only the truth as I set forth. Step 3, working together with reinforcing your power. There is no step 4. Okay, it's a 3-step process relating to this. Zeta, if you have not done BCR TC technique, do that first. Don't do this first. BCR and TC technique for 30 days, every day, and see the change happening. Then move on to this. But there is no step 4, okay? So you see beauty, you see love, purity as bright light, and can't differentiate and give a particular character. Is that okay? No, it's not okay. You want to be able to tell the difference between anything that you're putting your energy into, okay? But again, Azita, you're jumping the gun here, okay? Go back to BCR and TC technique. Make sure you do that for 30 days. Once that's done, then you can come to this, okay? But when you're at this step, no, you want to differentiate between everything. So for example, you may want to give a certain key truth a color, okay? So maybe love is a very beautiful pink energy, okay? And maybe you see a big heart shape with it. I don't want to try and put these examples to you guys because, oh, then Brad says to do this. No, this is just an example, okay? And then you may look into the idea of purity, okay? And it's a nice, beautiful golden seam of energy. And you're feeling that within yourself, right? There's a feeling associated with that, okay? Every feeling is unique. Every vibration is unique. Do not make them similar. Do not make them identical because you can't, right? They're a unique identifier, and you want to pattern that in that way. I will instantly know what is the feeling of love and what is the feeling of compassion, what is the feeling of truth, what is the feeling of purity, what is the feeling of transmutation, what is the feeling of perfection. All different vibrations, okay? Something that you can easily pick up, but you're, again, not at that level yet. Okay, 30 days. BCR TC technique first, this second. Okay? So please make sure you differentiate. Extremely important. Okay. Let's go down here a little bit more. Lost my spot where I was. Okay. So should I completely not care about what other things? Yeah, you got it. You don't give a damn what other people think. Because that liberates you. If I keep caring that somebody says, oh, I should live my life this way instead of the life I'm living, well, then I'm a slave to their perceptions. I'm a slave to their opinions. How is that going to benefit me? How is that really going to benefit them? I don't want some other person trailing around and say, oh, Master, what do I do next? What do I do next? Right? It's really just going to end up to be a burden anyways. Why give so much value to other people's opinions? Why do that? Do you know why? Because you see them mightier than you see yourself. And that's why you do it. And that's an imbalance. When you look at equanimity, And when you look at imperturbability, you are not bothered by other people's perspective. You're not being mean to them in any particular way. You realize that they have their own perspective, but you don't take it. The only thing valid in my reality is the perceptions that I myself discover. The only thing that's valid in my reality is the experiences that I have gained to determine who I am through seeing that myself. Can anybody else bring that to me, JR? No. So why would I give so much power to their perceptions? I wouldn't, right? They are going to have their own perceptions and their own reality, and that's going to be valid to them. But when they come up to me and say, oh, Brad, you shouldn't be doing this work, you should be doing something else, well, really, I don't care about that thought. I don't care about that perception. Thank you for sharing it, but really your perception doesn't mean a damn thing to me, right? I don't care about it. I care about your soul because you're an infinite brother, sister, just as I am, part of a child of the Most High, but I don't care about your ego. Your ego doesn't mean a damn thing to me. My ego doesn't mean a damn thing to me. So if my ego doesn't mean a damn thing to me, what would make you think that your ego means a damn thing to me? I don't care about people's egos. I don't entertain them, right? And that's a simple thing that I say as well, too, is that anybody that says, oh, Brad, I blame you for the way you've lived your life or what you've done and for the way that you've had your family and you left your family and blah, 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 and point. And what they don't realize is when we're pointing this finger, we got 3 other fingers pointing back at us, okay? What I have basically stated to myself and what I share here, I don't entertain people's egos anymore, right? And so basically if there's a person that wants to be on here and bash me and belittle me to the greatest level that they can, they're not going to be acknowledged. To me, they don't even exist, right? I don't entertain that. I am working with people that are willing to change. Now, I'm going to be very blunt with you guys. If you guys are not willing to change, I'm not going to work with you. Not one bit. I probably won't even acknowledge that you exist. Okay? And I say that because I am here for people who are willing to change, who are willing to crack that shell and are willing to do this work, and who are doing the inner work, who are being vulnerable with themselves, who are being open with themselves, and they are making changes. Those are the people I work with. Those are the people that focus of mine goes to. Anybody who is basically being a granite statue and letting all of this come in, and they're pointing fingers and they're being accusers and blame gamers, no offense, but you guys don't exist in my reality. I won't even acknowledge you. I won't even look in your direction. Okay? You're invisible to me. And I say that because I have chosen the type of energy, the type of frequency of the people that I want to work with. And if you're not that vibration, you're not here. I do not hear your voice. I do not see your form. Until you're willing to crack that shell and change, well, then you're entering my world. And I'm very, very happy to work with people like that. Okay? So that is just where I stand pertaining to all of that. If that sounds harsh to anybody, hey, I get it. But that's where I stand. It's the decision I've made. That's the world that I live in. That's my reality. I work together with people who are willing to change. I do not work with people. I do not associate with people. I do not even know that people exist that don't do this work. Okay? All right, let's move on. Marie says, what is the best way to shift my perception of my life? I am struggling to rewrite my personal story. I used to use metaphors like tragedy to triumph and late blooming flower, but it's no longer working. Well, because you've run them stale. Maybe it's time you gave them new definitions. Maybe it's time you updated them. Maybe it's time you upgraded them. Maybe it's time you gave something in regards to a new fragrance relating to that energy. Because here's the thing, you're still defining them in regards to an older version of yourself that you no longer relate to. So now it's time to give yourself a new spin. It's time to give yourself a new refreshment, right? It's like pressing the refresh button, and now the page reloads, and new stuff starts coming on the page, okay? So Marie, that's what you want to do. If you realize that there's no longer any charge behind the feeling of triumph or being a late blooming flower, etc., whatever it is, that again is telling you you're still relying upon definitions of an older self that you no longer are. So refresh the page, refresh yourself, and give new definitions to the idea of those words. Okay? That's what I can suggest. Okay. So just looking for any more questions here. Okay, here's one here. Brad, can you talk about light codes and light language? Oh, talking about it. They're beautiful. They're wonderful. I've done it myself with light language and light codes. I mean, like I said, you pick up the healing code cards. There's healing codes within them as well, too. Now, basically, not all of them have vocal translations to them. When a person is doing light language in that way, right? If I'm doing a demonstration here, okay, the only thing you may have recognized is the om at the end, right? That again is language for the soul. Okay, that is basically you reprogramming your own frequencies. It's like looking at binary code. Okay, and we are refreshing ourselves when we're doing light language. And everybody who is doing light language has a different spin on it. Okay, I do hear some people that have similar tones to what I do when I do light language as well too. But that's really all it is that you're basically refreshing the codes within your own bodily matrix, within your own self matrix, okay? So it can work with DNA, it can work with the energy morphogenic field, it can work with rewriting codes within your genetic traits, so to speak. It can help with healing in many different ways. It can help to elevate you and being aware of other different dimensional frequencies as well too. There's 1,000,001 uses for it. It all depends upon the person that's doing the light language, okay? So to me, it all just depends. It's a language like anything. It's like me asking, oh, Brad, what do you think a person's English is like? It depends on the person, right? Someone has very fluent English and they speak very articulately, and it's wonderful to hear. That's great. But really, it's the idea of the types of light languages and light codes that we experience, right? So like I said, open up your heart. Guys, here's something that I want you to also remember as well, too. Please do not rely on me for your clarity, okay? Do not rely on me for your clarity. My sharing here really doesn't matter, okay? I'm basically just helping you guys as a catalyst to opening yourselves up and exploring yourself as well, too. You can accept or reject everything that I share, okay? Doesn't matter to me. What matters is saying, oh, okay, what Brad shared is something very interesting. I'll look into it myself and I'll see what I personally discover. Great. That's where I give you a standing ovation, right? Because you are the one that's making this your own. You're the one that's taking your BCR and TC technique and making that your own. You're making it into something unique. You're taking the subconscious cache clearing and you're making it unique. You're just basically saying, oh, I didn't know something like that was possible. Now that it's possible, maybe I'll reversion it myself a little and it'll work for me in this way. Great, go for it. That's what I encourage, right? It's not about you coming to me for clarity. I won't give it to you. Nobody will give it to you. Doesn't matter who you talk to on the planet. No one's going to give you clarity but yourself, okay? You'll get ideas. You'll get these doors opening. Oh, here's another door that I didn't know was in there before, but I got to walk through that door, and now I'm going to get clarity on it, right? So all I'm doing is showing you other doors. I'm opening doors for you. You're the one that has to step through it, right? It goes back to the matrix, right? So again, do not rely on me to feel like I'm going to answer all of your greatest states of wonderful questions, right? Or feeling that I'm going to give you the apex of clarity within yourself. I won't do that, and neither will anybody else, okay? Rely upon yourself. Put yourself at the top of the mountain, right? Go to the summit, right? Summit level manifestation. And when you're there, when you're balanced, your entire service is to the world. Your entire service is to every man, woman, and child. You do things so selflessly that everything just feels like a dream. When you give to someone, it's like the greatest feeling of ecstasy you can imagine, right? That's what we're doing. We're doing this work. We're doing this inner mastery to correct ourselves so that we can get absolutely blissed out helping everybody else. We start to realize more and more that we don't matter, right? That it's just the idea that I am all things. I don't care about this body. I don't care about this form. I don't care about this life. I'm here to enrich other people's lives. It's not about me. And that's the greatest discovery, is you realize you're here to help everybody else because it blisses you out. When you see the smiling faces of helping people out, when you form new relationships, when you form new ties, new bonds with people, and you feel their happiness, you feel their joy. And that's what you're doing. You're doing here for anything of that nature. It doesn't even matter what it is. Whether you're a cook, whether you're a dancer, whether you're a musician, whether you're a teacher, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You're bringing light in people's lives. Okay? I do it in this unique way. Okay? You guys will do it in your unique way, right? And I get such a rush of love helping others, assisting others. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this, right? So please remember that. You are what's unique. And it's your clarity that's going to bring you the greatest understanding. All right? Okay, guys, we're out of time for today. Let me just take this one last question here. This is from Sailesh. Sailesh is one of my Spirit Ambassador students. Brad, thank you very much. Indeed, I've been doing the BCR-TC technique for the past few months, and now I am looking forward to using this advanced technique. Great, go for it. Right? Because if you've been using it for that long, like I said, if you have over 30 days experience of using the BCR and TC technique, you can jump right into this, clearing your subconscious cache. So thank you, Sailesh, for sharing that. Okay. And thank you, everybody, for your great questions, for your great statements. I appreciate all of you. Like I said, I'm always letting you know where I stand. I'm always being truthful with you guys. I have nothing to hide. Okay. And this is why I say that I'm really just here to work with people who are willing to open themselves up. And until you open yourself up, I just can't see you. I can't see you. I can't hear you. And you say, Brad, I'm changed. I'm now ready to go. I'm ready to move into love. Great. I'll help you every step of the way that I can. Okay? This is what's being said. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this webcast today for Inner Mastery. Again, I'll be back next week, next Monday, with another Inner Mastery webcast. And, of course, this Friday with another New Earth Teachings webcast as well, too. All right? Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Take care.